Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, we still have people waiting to ask questions, and I do appreciate that. Thank you. Yes. Hey, Sisters Melva, how are you doing, Martha? Good.
Hi, Dr. Blair.
Okay.
How are you?
Doing good.
Excellent lecture.
Thank you.
Good information.
Thank you.
One of the questions I wanted to ask is, you talked about these new souls coming in, incarnating on planet Earth. What year did the children, the new souls started coming in? Can you give me an approximate year?
Well, you are a new soul, okay, whatever year. Many new souls. There's like an avant-garde or shock troop that came in, but as we get closer and closer to D-Day, and D-Day is now. We're in past 90, we're in the 90s now. We're in possibly the last 22 years of Earth being in existence in any form that we think. In fact, Earth is changing each day. That's why you're seeing the weather patterns change. And between the interventions, what they call weather modifications and so on like this, they're just accelerating and bringing on almost what is to be the inevitable. The only hope of really changing this, they call it polarity shift or photon belt, I don't even call it that, which changes the kind of cosmic energy that we now draw from the Creator, is people that have a direct link to the Creator. And those people are being made drugged addicts, and they're losing their ability to do anything, so I really say that it's almost cut in stone. So these souls have been coming in. They're coming in like mad since the, shall we say, the 1975s and so on like this, when they had this great big throwback to the drug culture, you see. So the ones coming in now since 85 are strictly here for one reason. They want to overthrow or become. They don't want any more foolishness. They're looking for directions, and they have their own unique set of values. So that would be the ones. Anyone coming in now really is almost behind the scenes. It's probably one that is here almost just to get in, just to say. In other words, some are even being born even though they know they will die soon. Much has happened in Biafra, that happened in Nigeria, we felt, and it happened in Ethiopia. We felt very sorry for them. We should not feel pity for that is ours, because we are no more than they anyway. But some of them didn't need but just to make an exit on the physical plane in order to kind of fulfill a contract, and they're gone. They realize when they're born, why they're born, they make that choice as they come in, and then they either fulfill it or they go away frustrated. There'll be no frustration at this incarnation. Now there'll be either a big separation and a graduation, but there'll be no more, shall we say, ambivalency.
Okay, my next question, I'd like you to talk about how we can help these children in bringing forth their best efforts so that they can have a high quality of life and do things that need to assist the planet in changing their consciousness, the community's consciousness, as well as the world's consciousness. I heard on one of your other tapes where you were talking some things about there are some things that you can do while the children are sleeping and so forth, that you can enhance their consciousness to keep them away from the other side of things where they go the wrong way and do the wrong things. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Those are personal consultations, and they come under a course that I teach. That information I don't give for free. I've given a lot tonight because of, as I say, in respect to people who have come a long way to see me, and the fact that you even drove me here in the cold. But those are instructions, like techniques of meditation. They're best done under a class setting, an intensive, or on a personal consultation.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
You said something about making a tape where you could, speak
I understand, and if you bought the tape, some things I put on a tape so others will buy more tapes or go and contact me or contact our group. You understand that. I'm not collectively sharing that because that is not part of tonight's subject. I already have combined three distinct subjects, and I've even elaborated on that. The how-to techniques for some of this, no.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Blair.
Welcome.
I really enjoyed this evening, and I do have a lot of your tapes already. And I consider you one of my teachers.
Thank you.
Yes. In the souls that are coming now, and you were saying that they were, one of the other tapes you said they are here to fight or blight. And that's sort of what you said tonight, and you didn't use those words, but I understood that that's what you meant. And the children that are being born to teenage children, I mean, parents who really are children themselves, does that have any bearing on the same reason that they're here? What has happened there? I mean, why? Because you were saying that if you understood at conception that this is what you're bringing into the world, then you would bring it in except to give it guidance, what have you. But for these teenagers, they're so young themselves, they don't understand a lot of things. What's happening there? But you see a lot of that happen. Is this part of the blight?
It is definitely a blight without question. It's a blight upon mankind and a blight upon the planet. The state, quote unquote, whoever that is, the government, whoever that is, or whatever that is, has seen fit to try and retard the new energies peaking at this time. New energies meaning those being born which have the power to invent or to prevent, whichever way they go. They know that these souls are being born, and amongst them is also being born an avatar, one who will have direct communication with both the Lyrian, Sirius, and the Orion Pleiadian systems. Because of this, they want to control all new births. They want to take those souls that are coming in and use them, and it is even their intention to take the ones who have already been misused, either through their own drug intervention for the shots that they gave them, or through being born to weak parents who have already followed the lesser way, by turning them loose not only into gangs, which they foment and want, but turning those gangs loose into the societies themselves as shock troops, sanctioned by the government before the real takeover and martial law is declared. So I think it's quite obvious what is happening. Even amongst them, and even amongst the rap records which they use to try and control their minds and to tell them what to do, which was all negative, even now there are lyrics being brought out and harmonies being brought out which can help to reverse even the drug addict, because the planet is changing. The fight is on. The whole thing is, like I say on the tape, there is a war on those who have melanin and those who don't. There's a war on those who have souls and those who have lost them or never had them. I simply refer to it as the melanin wars.
Right, thank you. And you mentioned about reincarnation, and I may have misunderstood, but I just got from what I understood from what you said, that reincarnation, that seems like it's not something that's going to continue after certain changes. It's something that is happening because something happened, so reincarnated souls have to, or is this something from time?
There's a whole tape that I have again on reincarnation. See, these are whole different subjects. They get very vast. I'm trying to kind of give one-liners or five-liners to try and give that. But my understanding, and this is the end of this as far as I can see it, is that not all planets have reincarnation. We have reincarnation here because we have over 5 races here. Because we have races we don't even realize. And we have souls able now to impart into those bodies life. and to learn from existences within those bodies. Consequently, we have something that maybe one or two other planets in the galaxy may have. A need to have 5 different kind of lives in 5 kind of different bodies, all to do one thing, learn what the planet has to teach and get off of it, to go back to the Creator. So this is why, again, but on the tape it's explained much more easily, and the whole thing about reincarnation as I, in my limited way, understand it.
Okay. You said...
Let's make this the third and last one, please. Okay. No, let's make this one. Okay.
One more? Okay. You said also, this question about a replica, someone to replicate between the 2 star systems that was born, these souls being born today.
Okay.
I mean, someone is going to be born that's going to have some power to influence that, or maybe, I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
Well, it's interesting that you used the term replicate. What I meant to use was avatar, a being divine to lead both in the heavens and on the earth, and all that's in between it. Replicate, however, is a very interesting, what can I say, adjective there, or possibly a personal pronoun. I'm not really sure, depending on how it's used. In this case, they will, or he will, or she will, or it will, because it will be very cosmic, be able to replicate between that is on earth that is from Sirius, and that is on earth from the Pleiades, and that is on earth and even in the earth. It will be like a divine person or being, a president or a leader or a priest, whatever you look at it, that will have both the psychic and physical self under control. And from that will cause an offspring to come forth that will live very shortly, but will have very divine powers, so one can see what the end result of physical manifestation can be. This is what is supposed to be born either now or has been born by 1989, and which also some of the governments of the world are hard-pressed trying to destroy and kill or find out who it is.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good evening.
Birthmarks that you're talking about. Specifically, if a child has a smaller mark when he is born, he or she is born, and it enlarges as they grow, as they get older, what is the significance to that?
What is a which to that? I missed that last sentence.
Okay. When a child's born,
No. Just the last sentence. What is? You asked me a question.
significance to the birthmark enlarging as they grow older.
Okay. Many cells grow larger as we grow older, and many cells just disintegrate because they're not used or not used correctly. The birthmark enlarging, as I would understand, is just simply a RNA pattern that would follow whatever regenerative would normally there. The DNA is the one that would bring in the energy, the gene. The RNA would play out that energy and gene harmony. So it would just normally grow. Now, if you're talking about just that group of cells growing so large that they dominate the entire trunk or area of the body, then of course I'm not sure. There could be a lot of reasons for that, and probably one of which would be some type of serum that's been given, or some kind of gene altering that's been given artificially. But if you mean just that it grows and that the person is large, it's in proportion still, then I say it's just a matter of matrix, just a matter of cell evolvement.
You also stated that the souls that are in there, there is no more that's being created at this time.
I'm sorry, but there's no more than what?
You said there was no more souls that are being created. Souls that
Created,
are
okay.
Okay, but with new babies coming, these are no longer new souls, am I right?
New babies coming are no longer?
Soon to be born. These are not new souls coming in, is that right?
Okay, yes and maybe no, I don't know. When I say no more being born, I simply mean that there aren't any new souls. Would mean that they were just coming into consciousness, and this whole system no longer even accepts that kind of a soul now. They would be born in Havana, a place where they call pure heaven, pure near the Creator, before they would need to undergo these kind of trials. This is an area of a heaven now that has reached its max. In fact, it's been stated that we will undergo either a direct separation here on this planet, creating a new earth, and the old earth being a binary, still existence, but separated by vibrational rates, or we will have to amalgamate almost into a supernova to become sun systems and learn from there. That's a whole different set of principles too of what suns are and how that is. Definitely no new souls, just created with blanks and converted, shall we say, again, neural systems would be allowed to come in now. There would be no reason for them if they would learn nothing.
Any baby that is being born, as far as today is concerned, should women, is there any drugs that they may be using on our newborn babies coming in now to prevent mind control to these babies coming in? Is there something we should be avoiding? You know, first when the babies are born, they want to shoot them with this and shoot them with that. Is there something we should know about avoiding certain drugs being injected into our babies coming in now?
Well, that's beautiful in as much as you say mind control, but you're using mind control as a control of the mind of the baby by the mother, which is the way it should be, to the point that the baby has already communicated with the mother for 3 trimesters. What I'm using it is, and what the state is using, is mind control by completely brainwashing, subliminating, and then converting, reconversion tactics, a soul to be whatever they want it to be. Beta, alpha, delta, whatever control they want it. Making it beta like a soldier, alpha like a learning individual for everything bad or good, and completely controlling the creative right brain. It's much different from what they want and the results of what they want it for than it is why the purpose of birth was given to woman and the mother now.
Thank you very much.
Very welcome. Let's kind of please limit it to no more than 2.
Good evening, Dr. Blair.
Good evening again.
My first question is, if you had children and they had incurred a traumatic experience such as being caught in fire or being exposed to some type of molestation, is there anything that a parent can do or a concerned adult to maybe, first of all, if they incurred these such experiences, would they in turn stifle their inner growth or their spiritualness? And is there anything that a parent can do to maybe help unlock these things?
Collectively, yes. Individually, you need a consultation, or that parent does, because I can only speak from a generalized scope and not for an individualistic situation. The parent usually is warned either in dream or in physical reality 3 times before such a soul takes that tangent. In many cases, the soul is warned 3 times, and then sometimes 3 times again. Those things come in 3s. If they do not hear it, then they pass by the easiest resolution. After that, it begins a matter of prayer and thought, and again beginning to understand not only who the child is, but the parent is. I have raised children, and I'm in the process of rearing another one. They have had some pretty rough situations, not 2 of the ones you named. And I think that through meditation and talking to them directly, and as a sister talked below, certain tricks of the trade, through sleep interference and so on like this, I was able to get them through it. And even so, they still reflect some of that scars, but you would never know it because it's not physical scars. Okay, so I have gone through it. I was tested. I think that I won the victory one time. Now we'll see if we can win the victory another time. All parents are always guided if one goes within and asks. Many times we go to the wrong sources, and that is where our problems come.
Our children's bodies and the glands that you were having us to rediscover or to understand in ourselves, are they locked up as ours are, and what procedures should we use to maybe help them enhance and to restore?
I'm not quite sure I understand the question.
Okay, like you were saying about us men having this hole in the roof of our mouths, in the back of our mouths, because that's so for the young men that are coming up, and what procedure or exercises should we use in order to help to restore the function of these glands or the whole of it that connects to the pineal gland?
I have not completely mastered that technique. I have experimented with it both when I was younger and occasionally now. I do understand what it helped me to accomplish and what it didn't help me to accomplish in its usage. I would not be a person worthy enough to impart that knowledge because I have not mastered it. Let me, however, say that I have found that the best teacher is within. I found that when I really have something I want to know, after I weigh the opinions of men such as me, I go within in meditation and then in prayer, but meditation first for a solution and an answer. So far, when I follow that first mind, it has been correct.
You also did say instead of solid food, you deal with essence, like is to help stimulate the reactivation of the gland which you have in the top of your nostril. And I quote the word essence. Does that mean also like aromas or essence of peppermint or essence of eucalyptus oils or different things?
I didn't say essence of peppermint or eucalyptus, but the essence is yes.
The essence is
just as you state.
Aromas.
Yes.
So much as
They even have revived now aromatherapy. They're combining that with color enhancement and vibrational sound. That is back to the creation anyway. Light, color, and sound. That is where creation first started.
In this magnetic, we're in the electromagnetic as opposed to...
Okay, let this be, that's about 4 now. Okay.
I had said the last 2 lectures that you did there, so I was holding on with this, but this is a question.
Okay, thank you.
It said we descended from magnetic existence into electromagnetic now. And electromagnetic is in existence even in wilderness where you have no electric or power lines. And if so, can you create a magnetic existence in the wilderness such as Alaska and say you wanted to go to live? Could you create such an existence that it's not about water in electromagnetic fields, or would you have to just place your magnets and diodes everywhere where you're at?
That really depends on what is going to happen to those wildernesses and where those wildernesses in your mind are. You referenced Alaska. Let's use that as a fulcrum. In Alaska, there are many things that are happening on a daily basis that are horrendous. They have had earthquakes, some of which, if we only understood what good they did, we would praise them because they destroyed a lot of concentration camps in some of those earthquakes. We have had, and they do presently have, temperatures that are in the 30 below zeros, as it is very close to what is called one of our poles, which by the way don't exist, but close to one of our magnetic grids. And there's going to be a lot of interaction between the 4 elements of Earth there until they balance. So even though they may be free of mankind and humans' interference, you still will have to act with nature's rebalancing. All things must have energy, so you're never bereft of some kind of energy, whether it be electrical, magnetic, or organic, which is mind. And if we can only go through that third force, which I kind of mentioned before, the mind force or the orgon energy, the recreative principle, usually they will get us through the other 2 principles. The catch is, it's very hard for one who does not use that discipline and who has any doubt to follow that middle path, the middle pillar, when the opposites are so attractive and so strong and powerful. If you could do that, you could probably exist anywhere on earth and walk through it. But to do it in a concentric physical reality, to say, let's go on the earth, that this is where I can go and use this, would be very difficult. I would say almost by any means necessary that you can live within spirit will be the way to survive that. You're welcome. Good evening.
I have a question about the 2 female glands that you mentioned.
The 2 female what now? Oh, I'm sorry. 2 female what now?
Female glands.
Glands, okay.
Are they glands?
Were they glands or are they glands?
And the power.
Par-oof-peron.
Okay, I want to know what the two locations are and what can a woman do to stimulate these glands in there to help prevent the effects of radiation, if I understand correctly?
Yes. Well, it's somewhat difficult at this time to utilize those glands fully. In some cases, they have been so atrophied and even removed in pan-hysterectomies and total hysterectomies amongst some earth women that some of them don't even exist anymore. What is interesting, though, every gland has a reality in the left brain and a surreality in the right brain, which means even if the physical organ is gone, the pattern of remembrance is still kept in the analytical left brain and can be brought about through the creative right brain, even if it's not on the physical plane, which means that woman then becomes even more psychic and is able to produce some of those psychic thoughts into physical realities, which means even though that gland is gone for creation, the power now to create in thought and bridge future and past is now given, which is even a better power than what she had before. It's hard to say. By balancing the acid-alkaline balance within the body, by honoring all the glands, by meditation, which can influence any gland in your body and any organ in your body, you may revive that, and if so, you will know it, because in many cases, what they call testosterone and progesterone and these hormones are really not secreted from those glands. They're stimulated by thoughts at night and during the day, which cause these glands to operate. That can still be done if there's still usage there. If not, and they have become spiritual or etheric glands, then you can begin to create on the heavenly planes and even look into the future and prophesy or go back into the past. So no gifts are ever granted that they're taken away, but we must then use different methods to contact them based on where we are in vibration.
And if I were to visualize, would you repeat where those two glands are approximately located?
The epiperon and the mesosphinx, so hold on a minute, let me give it to you exactly. The EPOO is between the uterus and the ovaries, where the two tubes, fallopian tubes, go down again, in that little cavity which is called the mesosphinx. It's now pretty much a vestigial gland, some pride, dehydrated or so, but may be there in some women. It is also the cavity in many cases that some births are made when they form atypical births, again outside of the tube, as well as in the colon cavity. This is why, because sometimes they still try to regenerate there. Many women who are undergoing now dermoid cyst and just ovarian cysts and so on like this are still the energies there from that outside that cavity adhering to those tubes because of magnetic flow, and they start to bud, especially if the woman is not balanced per se. And I don't mean balanced in mind, I mean body balance, taking in the wrong foods and essences. The other one is the Par-ooperon, P-A-R-O-O-P-H-O-R-O-N, and this is where the seminal fluid is produced, and it's below the mesosphinx, right at the bridge of where the colon would start, the transverse colon in the cavity. Let me say again too, in passing, person who's led me on that research by reading more than I could read in the same books that I overlooked was a lady there, my wife, sitting there, and you might want to consult with her. I won't say she's an expert, but she was the first one to draw it to my attention, so she might be able to tell you even more than I.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much, and good night. Thank you very much. I appreciate you sharing it with me. Thank you for that. Huh? Oh, you still... The brother still wants that diode experiment again. I don't believe this. Okay. All right. Do we have a volunteer for the diode experiment? Is there someone who wants to use you? All right. Why not? Okay. You guys want to come down there? Yeah, down there again? Okay.
I mean, that's we said all questions that folks.
Here you are, good Dr. Blair. I have some.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, I heard that. Well, we need to use your diode. I got it. I appreciate it. I heard that. Okay. Okay, that's good enough. Oh, you want me to talk into that? Okay, what we're going to do at this time is a demonstration of the power of diodes, and to explain again once more what diodes do. Diodes align your own body's electromagnetic field energies and make it resistant to enroaching oscillating energies. The body can take energies that come in on an even angle and are evenly spaced and flow. It does not accept well oscillating energies which come in from every which way, which we call radiant energies. Radiant energies weaken us, and if they continue, will even kill us or cause us to look old before our times. Even energies add to our life force, and if we can use it, even make us regenerate. So I want to kind of give a demonstration of that for. I'm using kinesiology as a vehicle of expression for it. Kinesiology is simply muscle flexing and ligament flexing due to pressure. So again, I'm going to ask the gentleman again to extend his arm, his strongest arm, and resist me. He'll feel how hard I'm pushing, how much resistance he has to give. Not yet, we didn't wait again. Then once that is done, I will have him to take a look at or step over or near electrical fields. Then his arm should be very easy to push down, or it will cause a tremendous amount of resistance on his part for the same amount of pressure that I exude. Then I will let him hold the diode and do the same thing again, and see that almost immediately the energy is restored, because he now has not letting any energy dissipate from his body. He's controlled his own energy forces, and then we'll try it again without it. Okay? Right here's good enough. You want to keep it with the front face this way. Okay, just extend your strongest arm and lock it in. Go look toward me. Okay, don't let me push it down. Remember how hard I'm pushing it. Just kind of put it all the way over there. Okay, fight me. Don't let me move. I'm pushing fairly hard. Okay, you know almost how much strength you have to use to resist it. Okay, just relax. Let me move. Ready? All right. I want you to step over that line of energy there. And I want you to pull your hand out here and look toward that light that's over there. Big beacon light, that little flat light. Okay, I want you to resist me. Don't let me push it down. But fight it. Resist me. Okay. Let me know when you're ready. Ready? See the light, ready? See how much more you're locking your whole arm up. See how much more resistance you have. I'm not trying to do strip. It's not strip. Right. Okay. I want you to step away from there. What I just do it for you? No, I said it was possible. Okay, let's step back over again. Put it down from your left hand, hold out your arm. Look over to the light again, resist me. Easy to do. Okay. Okay, again, precision. All right. Peace again. Same thing again, if you like. Put it in your hand again. If you like, just me. Please drop in my hand. All right, ready? See the difference?
Yes, sir.
This is almost immediate then, because to say, yeah, and that was in his right hand. The left hand is your hand of accumulation. You draw in things. In his left hand, he can even begin with enough of these to become superhuman. And that energy, instead of going negative, become powerful. That's what I don't talk about a lot. This is why I say in the classes we begin to show how you can use it. It's just a matter of using your own energy and using it correctly. Okay? Thank you. All right. Okay.